Every month I share with you my YouTube analytics, the investments I make outside of YouTube, and a behind the scenes look at all of the numbers, both income and expenses for my investments. Let's start with YouTube. This was definitely a month where YouTube popped 6.8 million views. I like this chart as it shows the difference in months, and you can see within the same year, it kind of exploded from February all the way to November. Very thankful. I mean, 6.8 million views is definitely top of the food chain on YouTube. There's not many channels. There's a lot of channels with 1 million or more subscribers that don't even get those numbers. So I'm very thankful to hit those numbers. 875,000 watch hours, which is bonkers. Almost 40,000 subscribers. And then the big number you guys have all been waiting for, almost 60,000 in revenue, which is like completely mind-blowing. Going back to February, 3,800 all the way to 58,000, almost 59,000 within the same year is just like truly mind-blowing. It's really cool to see the top videos in this period, so it'd be this month. It's really challenging as a creator to look at these videos and not get sucked into the idea of becoming like a drama channel and like urgent news, because that's certainly a good short-term strategy. As you can see from the videos, out of the top four, 3 of the top 4 huge views are these like urgent videos, and I enjoy making them, and I think there is value in making them, but I don't want to become the channel that's just like only urgent news or only celebrity news, because I don't really think there's long-term value in that. I think it's important to also call out a lot of the charlatans and make videos that aren't necessarily going to get a lot of views, but it exposes someone who's doing something super shady. And so as a creator, this is just, I'm sharing with you like what goes through my mind is that it's always important to have both a long-term strategy and a short-term strategy with YouTube, where in the short term, it's good to make videos that get a lot of views because it helps support the channel, helps keep me going, helps keep me motivated, all that good stuff. But then there also needs to be a long-term vision, which for me is help bring in awareness to a lot of the stuff that these fake gurus are doing. And some videos I know aren't going to get views. They're not going to get 1/10 of the views of some of these like McBrooms or Travis Scott getting sued videos, but I think those have more long-term value. Hope that makes sense. But anyway, it's also cool to see the average watch time. This one right here, the Exotic Car Rental Academy, almost 63% watch time, which for those of you who aren't on YouTube, that's bonkers. Like that number is crazy. Anything over 60% is like an amazing performing video. It's really hard to keep people's attention over 30, 40, 50%. And so for some of these getting over 60%, that's telling me that I'm doing a good job of keeping people's attention, which is probably the most important analytic on YouTube. Let's go to the reach tab. 116 million impressions. That means people saw my videos on their feed 116 million times. Those numbers are getting like hard to fathom. It's so big. 4.1% click-through rate. That's pretty consistent with my channel. Let's see the traffic sources. I know some of you like seeing this. 66% browse, 19% suggested. My videos are getting pushed. That's pretty much the name of the game, is when your channel can get pushed the way it is, you're inevitably going to get views. If your videos can get in front of more eyeballs, you're going to get more views. Let's see if there's anything interesting on this. Nope. Audience. I think audience is the big one you guys like to see. Yes, you like to see like who else. The audience that watches my videos. Here are the channels that they enjoy watching. I know a lot of you watch these, so you probably like to see. I know the Sloan one popped up probably because the McBroom videos popped. A lot of fitness guys, which is interesting. But anyway, it's also interesting to see the 70% not subscribed. That's actually a good number because that means your videos are getting pushed to a lot of people that aren't subscribed to your channel. It's important for the long-term growth of a channel to always be in front of new eyeballs so that you can bring new people to the channel and always be growing. 80% male, that's a good number because it used to be like 92% male. So it is nice to have some more women watching the channel. It's probably because of the McBroom videos that might skew the number a little bit. Here's the most important tab, the revenue. How much am I getting paid? Almost 59,000 for the month. Pretty nuts. 8.66 RPM, 1831 CPM. So some of you still don't seem to think that this is the number that comes to my bank account. So this is the number that YouTube pays me. This is after YouTube's cut. So I think creators get 55%. So this would be 55% of what I actually earn for YouTube. They keep 45% of that number. So that number you see on the screen, that is what will show up in my bank account. I enjoy sharing everything I have going on behind the scenes and what I'm invested in, and we'll start with what I invest in most, which is my time in YouTube. This was the best month I've ever had. It was very humbling to make the amount of money I made in the month of November. Really felt like a pinnacle moment for my career because the income is life-changing. If I can make that consistently over a year, right, and then invest all of the net profit from it, it really does change your life forever. So I'm incredibly thankful for the experience I had in the past 30 days. What's really been interesting is that now that my videos are getting enough attention, the subjects of every video I make are going to see the video and typically reach out to me. Something that I'm not going to say I censor myself in any way, but knowing that they'll see it, I do have to watch what I say a little bit because sometimes it could lead to lawsuits if you say something that's an accusation that's not true, or it could lead to getting the video taken down, which is of course the worst thing that can happen. You could say, 10 minutes of correct stuff, but if 30 seconds of the video was wrong and you make accusations, like they can claim that you got to take the video. Yeah, it's just a whole ordeal. And with the people seeing the videos, now I kind of have to be careful. And it's a little uncomfortable, not going to lie, when you put someone on blast and basically expose them as being a fraud, knowing that they're going to reach out to you. There's still an element of human to human where they're like, yo, take the video down. Nope. It's also been really interesting to see how many people think I'm a hater. It's fascinating when you make an objective video about why someone can't win at sports betting, or why they are losing at whatever they're doing, or they're a fake guru, or they're fraud. And then even in the sports betting instance, you're showing losing tickets for a full month, and yet you get called a hater. It's fascinating to me that a lot of people just lack any critical thinking ability to watch a 10, 15-minute video explaining in detail why something is not what it seems, and that you get labeled a hater. Really interesting. On to real estate. I unfortunately had a tenant light something on fire in my rental property. I'm still waiting on insurance. It's been a month and a half. I have farmer's insurance, and I'm going to be really upset if they try and screw me. Well, they're trying to screw me right now. Long story short, they're trying to find a loophole right now to not cover this, which is going to be really, really annoying for me, and I'll certainly take my business elsewhere. I'm going to be buying so many houses and cars, hopefully if the Turo thing works out. And so if they cut me off now, it's going to be really, really dumb business decision. So far, it's cost me a little over $10,000 to fix the damage. So for those of you looking to get into real estate, this is the ugly side. Unfortunately, you can make money long term, but sometimes, you need $10,000 sitting around to be able to fix something a tenant did in case insurance doesn't cover it. And I'm not waiting on insurance because I've got tenants living in the house. I got to fix this thing right away. These poor people are living in a house with fire damage, and I don't want them to continue doing that. So I'm going to pay out of pocket and then hope insurance comes through. My philosophy on real estate has changed a lot. When I was first getting into the game, I was looking at cash flow, and that's why I took on this 7-bed, 5-bath property that cash flows well, but it's been full of headaches and nightmares, and it's an old property in Vegas, which means a lot of repairs and maintenance. My philosophy now has changed because I make so much on YouTube. I'm now not looking at cash flow numbers. I'm now just looking at the ability to park money and make a decent return, whether it's 5%, 8%, 10%, 15% cash on cash. It doesn't matter to me. It is a tax advantage because I can write off from depreciation as well as you get appreciation. I think Vegas is going to take off in the next 10 to 20 years. And I think owning these properties that I own, this nicer class of home, will pay off really well long term. So I'm looking to buy a certain class of property as opposed to, I used to invest for cash flow. That was my mindset. Now I'm just looking at parking money, 20% down, 25% down in a nice property in a nice area. And if it cash flows 6%, 8%, who cares? Very long-term focus now. And so you're going to see the numbers in a minute. I spend a lot of money on real estate. I do everything long-term. That's just the focus I have. I don't know how to view things short-term investing. That's why I don't day trade or crypto trade and do all these things that can make you money quick. I just don't think like that. My vision is always very, very long-term. And so I'm cool spending money today to have a better long-term return. And that's just my mindset in real estate. So I'm cool spending a lot of money on renovations and maintenance today that might not be necessary. So that's why you'll see the expenses be really high on these videos with my real estate, but it's going to play really well long-term. Real estate agent is next. Adam22, No Jumper Podcast. He had a friend in town that lives in Vegas and needed a place to stay. So I referred that person to a property manager, got paid for that. And then I had a friend purchase a house early November. And so I was able to get paid pretty good money. And this was just referring. I'm a referral agent. So I just refer it to my broker and he handles everything and I get a cut. E-commerce stores. So I've invested in 3 automation stores, 2 of which are Amazon, 1 is Facebook. The first 2, so provider 1 was a Walmart store that got terminated. You may have heard of this in the industry, like Walmart terminated all the stores, it felt like. And so we converted it over to an Amazon store. Long story short, I've been waiting on an Amazon code to arrive. They send it to your address before you can get started. So unfortunately, that one's still not going. Provider 2 is Amazon automation store, going really slow. This is, as I put, long-term. This is long-term focus. These numbers are going to be terrible. It is not a great investment for most people. This, to me, is an investment that I can put into something. E-com is only going to go up. It's only going to grow from here. And so I want to have multiple stores for the long term. And then as they age, a year, 2 years, 3 years, that's when you'll start earning some really good passive income. So this is a long-term investment. Short term, it's going to look terrible. I can't make that clear enough. Provider 3. So Facebook automation is off to a good start. I will show you the sales in just a minute. And I'm pretty satisfied with that one so far. Turo, my Tesla was in a wreck. Some dum-dum drove through an intersection and hit me. And so my Tesla is in the shop right now. I've only had it for like a month that I've been able to drive it, it feels like. And unfortunately, someone hit it. So I will hopefully have the Tesla on Turo by the end of the year. I know I've been speaking about it for like months, and I feel like I'm a guy that's not living up to my word. But unfortunately, there's just been many instances of not being able to get it started. So I'll need to buy another car before I can put the Tesla on Turo. But with my buddy Lucky, we're probably going to go buy cars January or February. I'll be able to go buy cars with him, and we'll be able to fix them up and then put them on Turo or hire a car. So that's kind of the long-term plan. Someone reached out to me about managing Turo, which is exactly what I'm looking for. I do not want to spend a minute on Turo. And so hopefully I can get 2 or 3 cars and then put the Tesla, which was the original plan, and then maybe another car on Turo, have someone else manage it and make some passive income. Lastly, I want to say thank you. Every DM on Instagram and email I read, I happen to see. I know I don't get back to everyone. I can't possibly do it just because of the amount of inflow, but I rely on people sending me topics. So if you're sending me topics out there, I very much appreciate it because my channel relies on you. Now for the fun part, to show you all of my numbers. You see the YouTube AdSense earlier, almost 59,000, very little expenses. Patreon still had some money coming in from that, so very much thank you for those contributing. Batch leads and Batch driven. I'm an affiliate marketer for Batch, which is real estate software. $116 for Batch leads. I don't have to do any work, and I still make a little bit of a passive income. It's nice. On to real estate. $4,100 from the first house. Full rent is $4,650. Unfortunately, with the tenant that lit something on fire, he is no longer in the house. And because the house needs to be fixed up, that room has been unoccupied. So I was not able to receive full month's rent for that house. So that's why it's lower. This house, I was able to receive full rent. I have equity being built. This is from the mortgage being paid down. And then as a real estate agent, from the 2 transactions I mentioned earlier, I was able to receive almost $3,300 for just being a referral agent. And as I mentioned earlier, I spend a lot of money. That's just what I do. I do everything with long-term in mind. I try to fix up the properties as nice as I can because I'm cool spending money today because I think the properties will be nicer for the future and it'll be really solid cash flow over the long term. Look at these numbers. I know you guys are going to make fun of me because these are really bad numbers. The Facebook store is real solid. So the Facebook store is actually significantly less cost than the others. And I feel like it's the one that's actually working and doing well. So again, those are long-term focused. Really, we'll judge them at the 12-month mark. So give me another 8 to 10 months and then we'll really evaluate if the e-commerce stores are a great investment or a poor investment. And then I had some expenses for the car, which I'm labeling as Turo. Hopefully I can get the Tesla and Turo by the end of the year. That way I can get some revenue being built up for that LLC. That way I can show it's an actual business. Here's on to the fun number, 72,000 of income for the month, which is by far more than I've ever earned. I used to make 45,000 a year at my day job, and so to earn that in a month is pretty eye-opening. Almost 21,000 in expenses. I do like to spend money. And then my net income for the month, over 50,000. That is a very humbling number. I hope to have it continue because that's a lot of money. My total expenses right now, I think my personal expenses are like, even with health insurance, it's like might be $1,000 a month. Food, health insurance, phone, and then maybe like car insurance if you want to add that in there. It's like very minimal. So every dollar that I earn, I just put it into investments. And so I'm trying to build and build and build right now, living very frugally, and then I can hopefully build for a really bright future. That's the goal, such that I can get to this number, this income number from passive investments. That would be a good place to be at in life. So anyway, thank you so much for following the channel. Hope you guys enjoy this video. I enjoy sharing just all the numbers. I do it every month. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.